Hey, it's Ron Coleman. You know, life is starting to get back to normal for some of us, not all of us. Probably among those hardest hit are nonprofit religious schools. They exist fundamentally by raising funds, such as annual dinners, other events. I want to talk to you about one that I'm trying to raise a lot of money for. I need your help and help me reach my fundraising goal on behalf of the Novominsk Yeshiva in Brooklyn. You may or may not know what a yeshiva is. Yeshiva is a place where Jewish men study the Talmud. Talmud is the ancient repository of Jewish wisdom. It is thousands of years old. In its written form, it has existed for over 1,500 years. It is what we consider to be the lifeblood, the portable version of our civilization and our way of life. The study of Talmud by men and boys in our community is considered to be an essential activity. Although I did not grow up in an Orthodox home, after college I became Orthodox and I attended the yeshiva for beginners. Then after law school, instead of working, I had time to attend yeshivas where I would learn how to study Talmud. And now I do it every day. Not nearly as much as my children. It's part of my life, and it's part of the life of most of the men that I know in the Orthodox world. One of my sons attended the yeshiva of Novominsk. Novominsk is a Hasidic yeshiva, but many non-Hasidic boys go there, such as my son. And he had a very good experience there. He became close to the administration. They approached me earlier this year and told me that they were in a pretty bad way financially, and could I help them out? They hoped I could do two things: help them raise money and give them a large amount of money. I can help them do one of those things, and you're going to help me do that. So I'm in the process of putting together a social media program along with a link. And I'm going to really bother people, and I'm going to probably squander some credibility and maybe even lose some friends. But this is important. This is our lives and the length of our days, as we say. Study of Torah, particularly the Talmud, raising funds. You know, I stopped giving money to Princeton University, where I went to college. See? Princeton's worth billions of dollars. I'm raising funds now for yeshivas that live from hand to mouth. They don't have endowments at all. The Yeshiva of Novominsk in Brooklyn needs your help.
Thank you for listening, and thanks for your help. Please click the link and contribute to Novominsk.
Ron, I'm sitting a little bit in traffic. You see things have gotten back to normal on Route 21 on the way to Yossi Gestetner's dinner. And I don't think he wants me to divulge the location. But I did think it would be a good opportunity for me to check in with you guys on the fundraising. Now, as I mentioned in a tweet, I want to make it clear to everyone, I'm not depending on social media to meet my fundraising goal. I have sent out the traditional letters to my contacts. Follow-up phone calls are being made to them. Will I meet my goal? God only knows. But I do think it was and is worth seeing what my friends on social media tell me that they value me, follow me, and respect what I have to say and my good looks. See, people will pitch in. I hope, if you haven't already, that you'll consider doing so. You know, if each of my 130,000 followers would just give $2, I would easily meet the goal. And several have already given, quite a few, substantially more than that. So if you just give $2, you don't have to worry so much about someone else not giving $2. Log in, give $5. Come on. For Ron Coleman. The link is below in the tweet or above, depending on what you're looking at. I'll say hi to Yossi for you. And thank you again, whether you donate or not. My friend. Hi, I want to thank everybody who expressed their condolences and their thoughtfulness and their prayers regarding my having mentioned that it was the 11th anniversary. Actually said the 10th, but my brother then reminded me after the tweets were out that it was the 11th. Years aren't what they used to be, you know. Anniversary of my father's passing. Some people had the insight to connect it with my present fundraising campaign, and I wish I would have done that at the outset. My father himself was very insistent that his children have more understanding of their religious heritage than he had grown up with. And we did. And he wanted us to make our choices about religious observance based on and understanding of what we were choosing or choosing not to choose. And we did. And we're eternally grateful to him for that, as are our children. One of those children, one of my children, attended the Novominsk Yeshiva in Brooklyn. As you know, I'm in the last couple of days, you might not know it's the last couple of days, the deadline is Wednesday. In the last couple of days of our fundraising campaign, don't be too scared off by the numbers that you see on the website. Money that's coming in through the regular traditional fundraising avenues is not being assiduously added to that. It's too many moving parts right now. The idea is to focus on being in contact with people who will donate and getting their donations in, and we're very grateful for everyone who's helped out. I really want to prove that social media can be a source of fundraising for good reasons, not only for criminal government officials and criminals and legal cases, not non-criminals. Please, if you can, any amount will do. 5, 10, 15, 100. You can get the $1,000 if you want. Any amount will do. Please make a donation to Novominsk Yeshiva. It's tax deductible, and the reward. Some pretty phenomenal storm here in New Jersey. I'm in Bloomfield near Clifton. Why? Why is it raining like this? Is it some special weather condition? Is it some front? Is God angry at my friends who keep putting off donating to Novominsk? I'm not a prophet or the son of a prophet. I'm just telling you. Just look around at this and ask yourselves, what's your role? What's your responsibility? I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying.
This is Ron. I wanted to take 2 minutes to 20 seconds to talk about why I've spent so much time the last couple of weeks trying to raise money for Novominsk Yeshiva. This was the Novominsk Rebbe Perlow. He founded the Novominsk Yeshiva. This is their building in Brooklyn. It's a little overcrowded. It was doing okay until COVID. COVID killed the Rebbe. It also killed the yeshiva learning. The boys were unable to learn. The city of New York shut down the yeshivas, kept them shut, refused to acknowledge herd immunity. They got on buses and went out to Bushkill, Pennsylvania. After getting everybody tested and confirming all the testing, they moved into this resort, sort of place most of them had never seen in their lives. Got together so that they could continue their studies in person. Yeshiva had no budget for this. They had no idea how they were going to pay for it. They knew, however, that if the yeshiva didn't continue its learning, the study of Talmud, the boys would have nothing to come back to when the COVID was over. So they packed up. They celebrated seeing each other. They had been isolated from each other for so long. Now it was safe. They were in a free state, Pennsylvania. They had ping pong table, which they didn't have in Brooklyn, but the business was at hand, and the business was the business of study. That's what they were there for. These are self-motivated young men. It's a very well-respected yeshiva. They mostly study in pairs. They sharpen each other. You can review independently, of course. That's what that guy was doing. The older students and the older teachers and masters of Talmud, of course, are available. They give lectures. But the main endeavor is the joint and in-person study, which is done in an intense way. These guys got together. They did it. They escaped COVID and the city of COVID, which is what New York turned itself into. They didn't know how to pay for it. They still don't know how to pay for it. They asked me to help them pay for it. And that's why I'm doing this. Thank you for watching and listening and learning. Thank you for whatever you can do to help Novominsk get back on its feet.
Good morning. I want to talk a little bit about success and failure and meaning. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. I have always been reluctant to talk about my professional failures, not because I'm ashamed of them. They are what they are. You know, we say that anyone who's never lost a jury trial has not tried too many jury trials. I don't talk about it as much as I otherwise might, though, in terms of the learning experiences, because I've got clients at stake. They don't want me talking about what is ultimately a failure for them, whether it's ascribed to me or otherwise. It's not good for their business, so I can't. I was asked to help raise funds for a charitable institution, which you've heard about by now, in a different city from the one where I live. And that's very difficult because in our community, those kinds of institutions tend to be based on local affiliation and connections. And I said, okay, I'll do what I can. You know, maybe I'll even do something on social media in addition to the letters that I'll send out to my connections, friends, and business associates. Because, heck, if each one of my followers even gave $2, that, of course, that's ridiculous, right? Because that's like the way they used to pitch .coms. Okay, there are 3 billion people in the world, which is what the number was back then. So if we just get 1% of users, and you all subscribe for $10, you know, our valuation is going to be so-and-so. I just want you to know, I'm very, very proud of my friends who donated. And those who didn't, I'm proud that I asked you to. Thanks for your help.